Hello everyone, John 12 back here again with another video, and today I give you another top 5. Yes, last week I gave you my top 5 Dragon Ball GT cons. Today I'm going to give you my top 5 GT pros. Yes, my first part was essentially giving you everything that I despise about GT, because you know what? Among the Dragon Ball Z community, the number one thing that could be said about GT itself is that it's possibly single-handedly the worst anime of all time, and possibly the worst thing to happen to the franchise till Dragon Ball Evolution. But you know what? There was a lot of good in GT. There was a lot of things that I personally liked about GT. And you know what? I'm going to get to that right now. So let's get into the shit. But first off, I have to mention that this is totally subjective. It's my personal thoughts. You don't have to agree with me. And if you do or don't, in the comment section below, please give me your top 5 GT cons or pros. Everything you like, everything you dislike about GT. Please, in the comment section below, tell me about it. And also, I'm going off memory here, folks. I have not watched GT in years. Years. It's been a long fucking time since I've seen GT, so I'm going off fully on memory. So if I get anything wrong, please don't be too judgmental, and please, in the comment section below, tell me anything I got that was obviously inappropriate or obviously incorrect, you know. So, but anyways, let's get right down to it. Coming up at number 5 has to go to the Shadow Dragons. Yes, the dragons itself, you know, Shenrons. You know, I really enjoyed the scenario with the reboot, because or the sequel series rather, because the Dragon Balls place a really interesting it's an archetype for the series, because without the Dragon Balls there's no series. You know, because of the Dragon Balls, it brings the characters together. So, I like the idea of GT when it started off and where it ended, where it basically had the Dragon Balls be the true enemy of the series. You know, you have the Black Star Dragon Balls, you have the Shadow Dragons, you know, the Shadow Dragon Saga, all the Omega Shenron, shit like that. I always thought that was interesting because, you know what? At the end of the day, I like that idea where the Dragon Balls, from overusing them through the years, caused a dark rift in the Dragon Balls, causing them to manifest into actual beings to not only destroy the Z Warriors but the Earth itself. And I like that idea. I love the idea of the Dragon Balls being the main enemy of, you know, the universe. So I don't know. I personally like that idea. Tell me in the comment section. What do you think? I like it. Anyways, moving off of that, going to number 4 has to go to the Adventures of GT. Even though most of it is cheesy, comedic, and stupid at times, I like the Adventures, because when you look at GT, it's not really a sequel. It's not really Dragon Ball Z, actually. It's anti-Dragon Ball Z. When I rewatch GT, or at least watch some of GT, I always think of that. It's like Dragon Ball Z, you know, when you watch it, it has nothing to do with Dragon Ball Z, except for, you know, being in the same universe and using the same characters. But it has really nothing to do with Dragon Ball Z. The characters are completely different, you know, the scenarios are completely different, you know, everything's completely different. So, but one of the main thing that I liked that was different from GT to Z was that they brought back the adventures and the lore of the journey, you know, the journey. You know, because that's what Dragon Ball has to be, the journey to get where you need to be. You know, and I like that. And I like the scenario in the new team of, like, Goku and Trunks and Pan and that little robot that I continue to forget his name. I like that they're, like, the new generation of Dragon Ball. You know, like, even, you know, it's kind of like Goku taking the new generation on these journeys, you know. And I like to think of it that way. You know, I like to see it as, like, you know, like they're... You know, Goku's Goku, Pan is like the new Krillin, Trunks is the new Bulma, and that little robot's kind of like the new Oolong. Like, that's how I like to think of it. Like, that's how they come off as. And you know what? I like the adventures that they have. You know, I like the idea, once again, going back to the Dragon Balls, where, you know, in the original series, the Dragon Balls scatter across the Earth. But in this series, the Dragon Balls scatter across the universe. So I like the idea where, you know, Goku, Trunks, and Pan had to go across the entire galaxy to try and find these, you know, Dragon Balls. Like, that idea I like. I mean, like, it's more enjoyable, it's a little more fantastical. I like that type of stuff. I personally enjoy that type of stuff. And you know what? It's one of the main things I liked about GT. Even though it's a little cheesy and comedic at times, where it doesn't need to be, it's still good. I like it. But moving off of that, going to number 3 has to go to The Baby Saga. Yes, the Baby Saga was the main thing that I liked about all the sagas about GT. The GT sagas at times were not good, and some of them were downright just shit, like the Android 17 saga. I never liked that saga, but I think one of the sagas that at least made GT worth watching is the Baby Saga. The entire series, I think, was built upon that kind of moments. You know, that's what it needed. You know, because you had these incredible scenarios, and plus, in the Baby Saga, nothing goes the right way for everybody. I mean, like, of course, in the end, you know, the day is saved. Goku's the victor and all that shit, and everybody goes back on Earth or whatever the fuck. But at the end of the day, I don't know, I always liked Baby as a character, as a villain, as an enemy against Goku, and plus I just love the whole scenario where like he's an artificial being, but also at the same time he's like a descendant of the Tuffles, and he's trying to seek revenge on the Saiyans, and I love his abilities, he has the ability to shapeshift, to go in, to enter other people's bodies, to telepathically control other people. I love that idea, like he has and plus his design once he fuses with Vegeta, I love that design. He just looks cool and badass, especially compared to Goku as a Super Saiyan 4. They just look so badass standing together. It just looks cool. And I don't know, I just love the Baby Saga where he's like you had this whole mission to try and get him killed, it was just a mission to just destroy him, because it was impossible. He screwed over Goku and everybody so badly, it was amazing. I don't know, I personally love that type of stuff. The Baby Saga is definitely the most badass saga of the entire GT series, I personally think. Moving on for that, going to number 2 has to be Super Saiyan 4. This almost made my number 1, but I decided just to put it in number 2. And you know what? It is true. Like, Super Saiyan 4 is the most badass thing about GT. Funimation, if they did anything good, was hyping up Super Saiyan 4 like they did. Because it was the best thing about GT. It was so badass. Goku looks... I said this even in one of my other DBZ videos. Like, Goku as a kid, I can't take him serious. He's too childish, too stupid, too unnecessary. He should have stayed as a Super Saiyan 4, in my opinion. But you know what? I liked Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He was so badass, he was so primal, he didn't take shit from anybody, he fucking got shit done. He was so bad, and plus I love the design. Like, Toriyama, if he did anything good, was like designing a good transformation. I think he just looked cool. And, I don't know, I think it's far superior to Super Saiyan God, in my opinion. But anyways, I don't know. Super Saiyan 4 is badass. And plus I love how Goku needs to transform into Super Saiyan 4. Like, I like the fact that it's a humongous hassle where it's like he has to grow back his tail, he has to look back at the moon, he has to become an ape, then he has to become a golden ape, and then he has to, like, reconnect with his human self and, like, regain consciousness and become Super Saiyan 4. I like that idea where it's like a humongous hassle to become Super Saiyan 4. I think it's pretty cool, and plus I like the dramatic moments that lead up to him becoming Super Saiyan 4. Like Goku's defeated, he's obviously completely unmatched. He's completely matched and like just completely disgraced by baby Vegeta, and he just looks up at Earth, and he just feels bad that he has to lose them, and plus then he looks at the moon. In the Earth, like the Earth becomes its moon to him, and then he transforms into the ape. And then I love the moment where he has with Pan, where they have this like entire scenario of like, this like this crying moment. Like I don't know, I just like that type of dramatic moment. And then he becomes Super Saiyan 4, a total badass. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. Before getting to number 1, let's get some honorable mentions out there. First off, the villains. I don't think the villains of GT really get that much justice. A lot of people like to consider the villains really shitty, but I don't know, I personally like them. I can't remember their names. I mean, like, I like some of the Shenrons, like Nova and whoever the fuck, and I like some of the robots and the robot villains, especially that one guy. I'm sorry, people, I cannot remember his name by any means necessary, but if you guys want to know which guy I'm talking about, it's the robot guy who fights with Gohan, and he has the ability to control metal. That guy. Tell me in the comment section his name. I completely forgot his name. But anyways, one of the bigger honorable mentions I needed to put in this video is, of course, Pan. Pan is the number one character I think gets too much shit. Yes, she's not as important as she could have been. Like Oop, Oop was a complete downfall. But I don't think Pan was equally as much as a downfall than Oop. At least Pan had some significant value to the series, and plus at least she had some actual help gave some actual help to Goku. Oop, all he did was transform into a useless character and got eaten by, fucking Baby. I don't know. I personally think it was completely pointless. It was stupid, and, Pan, I still say she should have become a Super Saiyan, but you know what? Other than that, she was, I think, a good, worthy character, and plus she was a good, humongous, value to Goku's team, and to Goku himself, I think, personally. And plus, I like Pan. I don't know. I don't hate her as much as other people do. But that's going to be it. Let's have a drink break. A real quick break to drink something, because I need, you need some liquids. You need some liquids, people. Ah, nice. Anyways, number one on the list of number one things to like about GT. And the number one pick goes to, obviously, the ending of Dragon Ball GT. Yes, people, Dragon Ball GT may be inferior to Dragon Ball Z or to anything Dragon Ball by any means necessary. By any stretch of the imagination, it's not better than anything else. But if there's one thing that is superior to anything else, it's the ending to GT. The ending to GT is far more superior than its predecessor. Dragon Ball Z may be the greatest anime to me of all time, hands down. But the ending is not even. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, it's anticlimactic." No, it's not anti. It's almost anti-climactic. If that makes any sense. That's how dumb the ending to Z is. But GT is a far superior ending. I mean, it ends so beautifully. You have, 100 years in the future. All the characters are gone, but you still have, that feeling of the characters that we love. You have Goku Jr., Vegeta Jr. in the World Tournament. They're facing off against each other, and I love that showing. Because you know what it means? It's basically, showing that these characters are almost destined to fight. Whether or not it's them themselves, they just are destined to fight. Goku and Vegeta will be at odds, and will be fighting forever. From generations and generations to come, they will always be fighting. And I love that it ends with them fighting. I love that whole scene. It's amazing. Because it's like Batman and Superman. It's just, they were just destined to fight. They were destined to have an alliance, but always be at odds. I love that. And I love the whole scenario where Goku's back, and he's himself again. You get to see the old Goku. It's him. And you have this whole, montage of flashbacks from the past and all the great moments that they had. And then he flies up with the Nimbus, and I don't know, I just love that moment where he's flying up, he goes, and, it's like, till we meet again. And I love that moment. I don't know. I personally think that is a far superior ending than Dragon Ball Z's ending. And you know what? Love or hate Dragon Ball GT, you have to give it, its props with giving it a good ending. It may have not been the greatest anime or the greatest thing that happened in the Dragon Ball universe, or the Dragon Ball franchise, rather, but it's definitely worth the watch. You know what? Dragon Ball GT may be a lot of things, but it's not completely terrible, as people like to put it as. It does has its moments. It does have its amazing action. It does have its comedy. It does have the adventure, the journey. It has the characters. I just think you should check it out before you judge it. That's what I personally believe. And I personally encourage any Dragon Ball fan to go check it out. You can go to Best Buy right now and get the entire series in one set. So I think you should at least check it out. I'm pretty sure you can get it online for free, but you know what? Check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. That's my personal opinion. And you know what? I've been saying this for a long time, but I personally believe Toei Animation needs to reboot Dragon Ball GT. They need to do that. They have the ability to do another series if they wanted to. I personally believe that's what they should do. They should fucking just, record, film, animate an entire new series that's actually connected with the actual series. And you know what? Just have Toriyama fucking be more a part of it. I mean, like, yes, he's doing the whole films, but how long are those gonna last? You know, I'm pretty sure he's not gonna do a film like every 2 years. I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, I doubt it. I mean, like, I'm still amazed that he's doing the one he's doing now. But I don't know. I personally believe they should do another anime series. Toy Animation, they should just do it. Or at least do like a mini-series. Like every couple years, just do like a mini-series. That would be also interesting. But you know what? That's going to be it. That's everything I liked about GT. Everything that I really loved. My top 5 GT moments. My top 5... Well, not top 5 GT moments. Top 5 GT pros. Everything I like about it. That's going to be it. I hope everyone enjoyed. And plus... You know what? This is subjective, people. It's my fucking top 5. In the comment section below, please tell me what you liked, what you disliked about this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And plus, give me your top 5. What is everything you liked about GT? What is everything you hated about GT? What is everything you would have changed? What is everything you would have liked to have added? Tell me everything. And plus, that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This has been John 12.